Hi, my name is Steve Langone, and thanks for joining me today. I'd also like to thank Sean from Boston Drum for having me here today. I'm promoting my new book. It's available on Amazon.com and here at Boston Drum as well. Advanced Rhythmic Concepts for the Modern Drummer. In this book, we'll be exploring, well, this is Volume 1, Subdivisions and Groupings, and we're going to be exploring eighth note triplet subdivisions, eighth notes, and quarter note triplet subdivisions. And in this book, I combine that with familiar ostinato patterns that you may have worked on or heard before with South Indian conical syllables and pitch. In the first segment, I'll be grouping triplets in 4, and I'll be playing it with some rudiments and with some jazz time. And the next segment after that is going to be eighth note triplets grouped in 5 with kind of the same way of doing it with on the snare drum and with some jazz time. So thanks for joining me today, and hope you enjoy it. Okay, so what you just heard were triplets grouped in 4. And I just want to explain a little bit about that further, what I was doing. So the basic premise of that will be to get your primary pulse happening here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 and 4 on the hi-hat. Triplet subdivisions, 8-note triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1. And then at the same time, practice playing 8-note triplets grouped in 4. So I'll first play triplets again grouped in 3, and then I'll group them in 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And so I took this rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And transferred that to the grouping of 4. And so in the book, it's all written out. You can kind of see where the accents are and then just take it from there. So I'll demonstrate that rhythm one more time with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuck it, tuck it, teeny, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, teeny, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuck it, teeny, tuck it, teeny, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, teeny, tuck it, teeny, tuck it, tuck it, teeny, 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 tuck So the triplet, eighth note triplets, they don't change, and your pulse shouldn't change. You should be using a metronome or a sequencer or something. I should be using that. But anyway, you get the idea. And from that rhythm, then you play. I was playing a jazz sonata with that. So first, I would suggest just playing quarter notes and then work in the jazz pattern. But I'll demonstrate a little bit of that for you. So I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuck it, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I call that the bass drum would be the primary pulse, and banging out the secondary pulse up here. So all the exercises and melodies you would be playing would be in the secondary pulse, and that sets up getting familiar with modulations more. It also kind of frees you up independence-wise of where everything's going to line up, and it also helps you hear phrasing in a different way. You can hear resolutions in different parts of the beat, and you can also, with your playing time, you'll kind of hear a rhythm, what it sounds to be like on the beat, and that same rhythm kind of off the beat, and kind of approaching it from different angles. So that's the segment you just heard, triplets grouped in 4. right, so what you just heard were eighth note triplets grouped in 5. So I'll play, once again, the primary pulse here. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth note triplets. I'll group them in 3, and then I'll group them in 5 to show you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka. 3 plus 2. Taki-ta is syllables for 3, and taka are syllables for 2. You could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could say whatever you wanted. This sets up, gets into some conical. This book is not a conical book, but it does use some elements from the South Indian classical music drum language, conical. But it's not a study in conical, so I just want to be clear. But it's really useful, and I would recommend using the syllables and studying tabla. It's incredible music. But getting to this again, the reason I'm grouping it taki-ta taka, the downbeats I'm making taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka would be the quarter notes or downbeats, and the upbeats would be the taka. So if I had a bunch of eighth notes, I would interpret it like this: taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka. If I had quarter notes, it would be taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka. If I had just only upbeats or up eighth notes, it'd be taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka. So I'm going to accent this rhythm as triplets, and I'm going to accent it with the 5s, which is what I just did, but I'll try to just break it down right now. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. I did that with doubles, and you can do it with jazz ostinato, is what I just did. I'll demonstrate that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taka-ti-taka, taki-ti-taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ti-taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ti-taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka, taki-ta taka. You get that feeling of modulating into a 5, and you could do that. You could make that your primary pulse, but in the book I just stick with the primary pulse being in 4, and the subdivisions in triplets or eighth notes or quarter note triplets. Having those accents will highlight a different pulse, a different secondary pulse feeling. All right, so thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it educational and useful. And I'll be doing more. I call these each one of these examples a grid. So I have 200 pages in the book. So I forget exactly how many grids there are, but I have a lot of grids in there with examples of 7 and 9 and 13 and 15 using different subdivisions. So I'll be doing more. This is the first one. I'm excited. Thanks again to Sean at Boston Drum, and thank you for listening. The book, Advanced Rhythmic Concepts for the Modern Drummer, is available on Amazon.com again, and it's available here. And please watch for more videos. I'll be demonstrating a few more as time goes on. And thank you for listening.